Hello and welcome to the third video in the Truvald series. Today we're going to take a look at change management integration in Truvald. So let's jump right in. First, we're going to go to the settings section, to the app settings, and then we're going to unlock them. As we mentioned during the installation video, this is a lock section. We don't necessarily want everybody to have access to it. So I entered the PIN and I'm in. And I'm going to go to the change management integration section. You're going to note here that I've already added 3 domain names. These are my test domains. These are the domains that I expect to be issuing certificates to from my internal PKI. You would put the list of your domain names in here for all of the domain names that you believe you might be issuing certificates to that are legitimate requests in your environment. Then the change management number. When I worked with BMC Remedy, that used to be CRQ. Well, I see a lot more service now around these days, so I made the default in Truvald RITM, which is the ServiceNow ticket numbering system. And you can change that to whatever it is for you. The asterisk indicates that the prefix is done. Anything after that is the change management number. Then we're going to select the field in the subject names that we're going to stamp that change management number on. So we're going to use the OU field by default. That's the one that most of my customers are comfortable with. And it doesn't stop you from having a legitimate OU value also in the certificate request. You can have multiple. So it's a good field to use. We're going to leave it at that default. If you're not sure about the change management process and what we're building out here, the documentation for it is 100% available to you right here. So you don't have to go digging too far to get an explanation of how all of this works. So next, we're going to go over to our operations dashboard to the pending requests section. And we're going to click the refresh button because I was kind enough to pre-stage some tickets for us, pre-stage some requests for us. And right off the bat, we see that 2 are coming back as red, no good. And I can already tell you one of the reasons these are no good is there's no request. There's no change management number in them, and I can see that right here. That's reason enough following our process to reject the request. The requester should already have had an approved change management ticket from the security, the governance team before it got to us here in operations where we actually do the click. So we're going to take a look at that and we're going to see, yep, there's no change management. That's the only thing that's failing on this one. So we're going to decline this ticket. We're going to send an email to the requester at the same time. And we're going to indicate that he can resubmit with the please resubmit with your RITM number, right? And we have a document that we've provided our users on how to do that. He just missed that step. And so we're going to confirm the decline and that certificate is dealt with. That email also goes out to all my team members. That way they know that that request that we got an email from, we got an email that something hit pending. That request has been handled by one of the team members, so they don't have to go look at it. So let's take a look at this one here on why it got rejected. Well, we already know that there's no change management number, but we're also going to see here that error doesn't resolve in DNS. Well, that's a problem. So error doesn't ping out either. That's not a correct value. So there's no change management. It's also an unauthorized domain. Error is not recognized. And DNS resolution ping, all those reasons why we can't issue this ticket. So we're going to go and decline this one as well. Now notice here, we did DNS and we did a ping to all the values first off. And we recognize that error is not on the approved list, so we flagged that right off the bat. So we already have some indication. Now this is a great way to catch a typo. And I've seen it already in production in Truvald. We've caught a lot of typos from requests coming in, and we've been able to say to the user, hey, is this correct? It's not resolving a DNS. The user looks at it and goes, oh, I got a typo. So now we can decline the request before it ever gets issued, so we don't have to have as many things on our revocation list later. So we can get the user to resubmit with the correct values. So we're going to decline this one as well. And we're going to send the email to the user again. We've talked to him because we figured out that error was a typo, not .com, .ca. And we're just going to confirm the decline. Again, my team gets an email that indicates I've done that, and the user that did the request himself. And if you're not sure who the user is, well, you've got a change management number. You can go to that change management system and figure out who submitted the request. So you know who the user was regardless. And then we have our last request that looks very good, looks green. We've got our change management number is there. That resolves in DNS. This resolves in DNS. And vanity.pixa.ca resolves in DNS. Everything passes, everything pings out. This is a really clean request. There seems to be no issue with this whatsoever. So we're free to issue this one. And again, we're going to send the email to the requester. And we're going to indicate that their certificate has been issued so they can go and retrieve it following the processes we've given them. And of course, my team gets an email as well to confirm that somebody has dealt with this pending request. And that, my friends, is pretty much how change management integration works in Truvald. If we go look at any of those certificates now and we look at the OU field of the subject name, we will find our RITM number. So in a month, 2 months, 3 months, when we need to know who owns this certificate, we can go back to service management, take a look for that number, find out who asked for it in the first place, and follow up with them. Hope this was good. Follow us, like us, download your copy of Truvald today.